I actually thought that Bo Nix was okay. It's at Seattle. They have excellent corners. It's one of the loudest places to play. And Bo Nix, now the passer rating will tell you, passer rating is like 47. They asked him to throw 42 times. He had a stinker of a pick. But I don't think it was as ugly as stats say. None of these other rookies are having to throw it 42 times, run for their life. Denver didn't have a great O-line. Seahawks had a pass rush. One of the smartest young defensive coordinators. Bo Nix was accurate. Bo Nix was mobile. If Seattle doesn't get that first down on that great catch by Tyler Lockett on 3rd down and 6, if they don't get that, Bo Nix gets the ball back with a chance to win. I mean, this was one of the games J-Mac and I agreed with. Like, this is a terrible spot for Bo Nix. I thought the game plan by Sean was conservative. It was underneath passes. But that's what he should be throwing on the road against great corners. Take what they give you. Here was Sean Payton after.
He seemed calm, poised. I thought that part of it, I felt like he was very comfortable and ready.
Again, nobody plays great for 4 quarters outside of Dak yesterday. You don't get a lot of that. Mahomes has had bad Super Bowls for the first 3 quarters. But contextualizing what he had to do in the place he had to do it and how many passes he threw, I know the passer rating will tell you he was awful. I didn't think he was. I think he's much more mobile than people think. He's always been accurate. I thought he was composed. I didn't think he looked nervous. Seattle's got elite corners. They're one of 5 teams in the league with great corners. There's not a lot of them. And Mike McDonald is supposed to be, here's the funny thing. Seattle's got a better roster. So does Seattle fans feel better today with the future with Geno or Denver fans with Bo Nix? Now, Seattle's got better players. Seattle's got much better players, in my opinion, than most people think. I like both their backs. I like their receivers. I like their tight end. Their offensive tackles are good, but the O-line is still a work in progress. But I don't know. I'm watching Bo Nix. That's one of the games I really wanted to watch. I don't care what the quarterback rating says. For the situation he was in, it wasn't terrible. Like Jaden Daniels could move a little bit. He looked uncomfortable in the pocket. Caleb looked uncomfortable. Bryce Young looked shot. Will Levis not working. Daniel Jones, I don't want to get into it. I was like, 42 throws on the road against those corners of pass rush, not terrible. If Lockett doesn't make one of the catches of the weekend on that 3rd and 6, a one-hander, Denver's got the ball with a chance to win. I don't know. Feels pretty good for me.
Okay, so I really want to talk about this. I'm a little bummed because I made a video already that I didn't post before I ever saw this, and I said so many of the same things that Colin just said, and so there's going to be a little bit repeat, but I'm just bummed because I was like, I'm going to post that first, but then I decided not to, and now I think I'm going to post it like the next day to kind of, separate it so I don't post like a same style clip on the same day. But yeah, I 100% agree. Bo Nix played so much better than I think a lot of people are going to give him credit for. It's very obvious to me. You can't just look at the box score. And that's why I'm really curious to see how other Denver Broncos fans feel about it, right? Because do they feel optimistic? Because I know Broncos fans were very, very high on Bo Nix. And I'm genuinely curious, like, how do you feel about this all? I mean, listen, I'm a huge proponent of not overreacting at all in week 1, let alone the first couple of games, let alone when you're a rookie quarterback. I thought that Bo Nix and the Broncos were going to be able to beat the Seahawks because I don't think the Seahawks are as good as maybe Colin is. And I remember when I think it was like Adam Schefter was saying, oh, this game is brutal for Bo Nix, on the road and all of that. And I kind of downplayed that. But I think it is, it is very worth repeating that, like, out of all the other quarterbacks, like, Bo Nix had easily one of the hardest week 1 starts. Not even just for rookies, just for quarterbacks in general. Being on the road, being in a hostile environment in Seattle, like, it's a lot to process, let alone being a rookie and not having an ultra strong team stacked with weapons and a iron curtain of an offensive line. So I think the fact, with all things considered, he did really well. And I think his mobility was awesome. I think the fact that he was so mobile and the way he moved, I thought was wildly impressive. And I'm really curious to see what Sean Payton does with that moving forward. As well as, I completely agree, he looked more comfortable and confident than any other rookie quarterback, let alone a lot of already established quarterbacks. He looked better than not even just Will Levis and Daniel Jones, because what type of bar is that? He looked better than Justin Fields. He looked better than Kirk Cousins. I mean, he was really, really comfortable. He looked better than Deshaun Watson. Like, he just did. He actually was confident. And you can't get hung up on these turnovers, okay? Because virtually every quarterback had turnovers. Patrick Mahomes almost had 2. He had 1, and that second one easily could have been, right? Jalen Hurts, turnovers. Jordan Love, turnovers. Lamar Jackson, turnovers. I mean, the NFL was littered with turnovers by the quarterback position over the last few days worth of games. So I am not, like, what am I expecting Bo Nix to do then, right? Like, of course he's going to turn the ball over. Of course he's going to have some moments where things kind of get a little away from him. My actual biggest criticism is actually Sean Payton, because I think asking Bo Nix to throw that much week 1, first game ever in Seattle, to me personally was a little bit too much. I would have liked to have seen a more balanced play calling. I would have liked to have seen him throw 23, 24, 25 times or so and really try to establish the run game to really help support Bo. And they did not do that, which to me was both good and bad. That signaled a couple things to me, but the biggest was that clearly Sean Payton trusts Bo Nix. He wasn't trying to baby him. I understand, like, what Colin was saying was a lot of, like, other short passes and underneath and stuff, which is fair. It's definitely fair, but the fact of the matter is he still put the ball in Bo Nix's hands, which means he clearly trusts him. And Bo Nix felt empowered to take chances when he did. I just think he looked so composed. He looked so confident. And if we didn't watch the whole game and we just kind of saw a handful of plays and we didn't see the box score, and I said, look at this quarterback, you would say that's not a rookie. You would say that's a quarterback who's been in the NFL for years. He just looked so confident, and that's all I was looking for. This week 1 game, I was looking for, how do you approach the game? What is your degree of confidence? And we can compare it to what Caleb Williams looked like. Caleb Williams looked clearly overwhelmed. Very, very overwhelmed. And I'm going to talk about him in a different video that I'm probably going to record right after this one. He looked overwhelmed. He looked scared at moments. It was deer in headlights. And I don't think he was as bad either necessarily. I also thought it was a weird game plan for them. But that was handed over to him on a silver platter, right? He's playing against the Titans, not a great team. He's playing at home, a beautiful sunny day, his crowd behind him. He's stacked with weapons, right? He's stacked with weapons where if he just gets the ball in their hands, they can do the rest. With a defense that was coming out, let's go, special teams, like, it was given to him. And yet he still could not get any momentum going. Compare that to what the Broncos had Bo Nix doing. They were like, we need the momentum to come from you. And again, that's a tall task. And that's just maybe to a degree how the game unfolded, right? Sometimes that's just the way. I don't think that was necessarily Sean Payton's 100% game plan. But it was still the trust. And again, he didn't collapse. He threw some bad picks, which is just a guarantee. It's just guaranteed. The one commentator, I forget who it was, when Bo Nix threw his interception in the, I think, what was it, the 4th quarter? I forget exactly. He was like, oh no. And he said it before Bo even threw it. He knew it was going to happen before Bo even let go of the ball. And to me, when something like that happens, that's just a rookie move. It's just to be accepted. You have to understand that those are the growing pains. No one starts in the NFL and is just immediately invincible. But the fact that he had the confidence and the fact that he was even able to bounce back after some of his issues, the fact that he still kept going and didn't shrink, to me, was the thing that I was impressed with the most. Because I felt like Caleb was like, I got the sense, it's not so much that he was shrinking, but it felt like quicksand. It felt like he was in quicksand. He just couldn't get anything going, and you could see it was just starting to slowly just collapse him. That's not what happened with Bo Nix. Bo Nix showed tremendous resilience. And I don't mean to like come on too strong with Bo Nix considering what we saw, because it was a 26-20 loss, 173 total yards, right? It's not like the most impressive debut, but above the shoulders, his head was wildly impressive to me. And at the end of the day, that's really all I was ultimately looking for. So I still think that the Broncos can be legit. I think their team is going to take a minute or two to come around. But I think if you are a Broncos fan and you're watching that, you should feel really comfortable and confident with Bo moving forward. And I really do believe that. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix's first start? And how do you think he compared to other quarterbacks, and especially the other rookie quarterbacks? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.